Welcome back, Sarah.
I'm so excited to be here post baby.
Woohoo! You guys, welcome back to Where'd She Go with Sara and Ali O. Woohoo! We are back. We launched this show, this season, this whole network with Sarah, and she had a baby like underway. The baby was baking.
Ellie gave me a 12-hour notice. We were talking about it the day before. I was going to the hospital. It was a planned C-section. I knew I was delivering the baby the next day, April 26th. April 25th, we're like, or no, it was April 25th. We're like, wouldn't it be so great if we could do the podcast? Let's get it going.
Wouldn't it be so great?
I'm like, I don't know if it can happen, but we're going to make it happen. And now we're here on episode 2. Where'd she go?
Okay. Welcome back. Thank you so much. How has life been on the other side? We have baby Mack here, literally in the vicinity.
Baby Mack is here. Our dadager, Josh, Uncle Josh, and my kids, her husband, is wrangling the talent. In maybe like 10 years, he can be here.
Mack was great. Beautiful delivery. And how much did he weigh? And how are you doing?
So he was 8 pounds, 11 ounces. He's my 4th baby. So you'll get this content from us on our travel channel here that we'll be talking about going on. We've been on bachelorette parties. We've planned them. Even bachelor parties. Helped plan my brother's bachelor party. We'll talk about going on couples, on solo trips, because I did travel alone, and I feel like I helped teach you how to be
truly
confident.
I don't know a lot of people who have traveled alone too. Like, just like I did like the teach what you taught English in Spain, and you're like, then I did a Euro trek like after that, and it's really tough for people to travel alone. So
it is, and I think it's something that more people need to be comfortable with. Be comfortable with yourself, but it seems so weird. I didn't have a phone, and there was no iPhones back then when I was traveling there.
Right.
There wasn't, so that's why I'm like, Allie, like you need to just bring a calendar with you, an old school
agenda,
a big agenda book, calendar, and just like you're going to go to a lunch by yourself and just write it down. Like
that's
what
the first step.
Doing?
First step is you take yourself to a lunch alone. Some people don't even like to do that.
Yeah,
now,
you were worried about that, and now you're like, please let me be alone.
And now you just, we'll get to that though. Like traveling alone, girls trips too. We'd love to talk about.
Girls trip we'll talk about. So
sister trips down the line.
We have that coming up in September.
We do.
And now Mack is my 4th boy. I have 4 kids. 4 boys. So we got to glam it up and do our girly things and family trips and girly like sister trips too. Yeah. All that in between,
All that in between. I have my husband, of course, and we have our cat and our dog. And then we have our combined siblings. We have
2 brothers.
Yeah. 2 brothers. And we have divorced parents, mom and dad.
We are sisters.
I think it's important to lay the context
you say
out.
that like a hard thing.
I love it.
Divorced parents is great. It could be good. It could be bad. It could be
Shout
great.
out DPP. There's
for
no
us,
divorced parent problems.
We should hashtag that. DPP, divorced parent problems.
But there's, it's better for everybody.
We can travel with both of them. I was talking about wanting to go on dueling pianos with mom and then going with dad and it being a separate thing. We go on separate like trips. It's great. In the 4 siblings, us 4, us and our brothers get to go.
Honestly, and the in-laws and everybody in between. I think it's important to talk about the dynamics of families when we're traveling and setting up trips.
Yes.
So what we're talking about today has nothing to do with any of those people because actually it's just couples trips we went on. Does it?
But Allie's my sister.
True.
If you didn't know, now you know. Okay. So Allie's my sister, and today's episode is really exciting because I felt kind of like a copycat. I'm the oldest sister, and I don't do copycats. Like, that's what my little siblings are for. Like, and that's what my boys, they all fall in line. Like, the little ones want to do what the older ones are doing. And so Allie and Josh, her husband, went on this amazing trip, and me and my husband, we were just like, we just wanted to like get away. It was going to be my birthday and we wanted to do something special. I think it was my 35th birthday. Yeah, my 35th birthday just last year. And we were going back and forth. My husband, he's like, I want it to be nonstop on a flight. And I'm like, what? That's either Jamaica, Iceland, or Mexico. And I'm like, I don't know. I wanted to go to Iceland, but I didn't want to be a copycat to my little sis, Allie.
Because on my bucket list was always Iceland for like 5 to 7 years, plus pandemic times. I'm like just dreaming of where to go, what to do. Okay, so without further ado, can we say the topic of today's show is... Iceland!
Woohoo! Iceland's amazing.
It's amazing. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know, okay, so there's two things. We're going to talk about how to do it and how to do it on budget or not on budget, right?
Bougie and budget.
Bougie
That's
and
what
budget.
we're about on the travel
Absolutely.
like blog here is I don't want it just to be like, oh, here's how you can do things amazing, or
here's how to road trip, because I love a road trip. We know Sarah's not a big road trip fan.
Love it right
you know what? Spoiler alert, yet again, there is a road trip involved with my Iceland dream.
Yeah.
And my favorite time.
That's why I'm glad we're similar. We have similar interests,
Totally.
same destination, but how did we do it so differently and help focus that in on what you can maybe take away from this? What would work? Yeah. Like maybe like I want to do a budget, but I want to do one big splurge. Then take that one big splurge of the things we're talking about today. Or like, oh, that budget, that Airbnb, it was only $150. That's amazing. That's cheaper than staying anywhere in Chicago, you know?
Absolutely.
That's what we want to bring here today.
With Iceland. With Iceland. So excited.
Yes.
Okay, so should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
We have no cards since you've been last on the show, Sarah. How does it feel? Iceland Blue?
It's great.
You know what's
my
funny?
writing I can't read, so we're just gonna spitball this too. But we have the same sister brain, so it works.
About Iceland Blue is actually Iceland is very green. So talk about the aesthetic. It is. Okay,
I think it's very black.
It's very black.
Okay.
So we're going to jump around. Let's get into the look of Iceland before why we went.
Yes.
The mood, the aesthetic, the vibe. Close your eyes. What do you imagine when you think of Iceland, and what did we actually experience?
I always thought it was glaciers and ice and snow. I knew nothing else really besides that. And when picking the background here today, it was important to us. We found some stone. There's not a lot of warmth, I guess you could kind of say there. Like it's a lot of like stone and blacks and little pampas grass is like anywhere we had stayed. We were in an Airbnb and hotel. It was just, there was no flower. There is one flower that's in Iceland.
The lupine.
I was calling it lupine, but it's lupin.
We were Google translating a couple of things.
Beautiful purple flower.
Pops of purple amongst just like gray, dark, moody, blacks. Black. So cool.
There is moss. You are right. I'm going to circle back.
Yeah.
Iceland is green because of the moss, not because they don't really have forests there. There is a forest, a hot springs there, which is amazing. That's a different option than the Blue Lagoon.
There are hot springs.
There are hot springs.
Many.
I can't wait to talk about it.
It's so volcanic, right? So the volcanicness settle.
There are 32 active.
Oh, wait, she has stats. She has science.
Stats.
Okay.
I wanted to look this up because I'll get into that. So
Please.
I went last August and it was amazing, great. So it was so amazing we wanted to go back. And now we follow everywhere on Iceland on Instagram. And they kept, the hotel we stayed at, it kept closing because of volcanic eruptions.
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious how many active volcanoes there are and how many volcanoes in total. So there are actually 32 active volcanoes in Iceland.
Oh my gosh.
And there's actually I think it's around 130 volcanoes in total, which is really crazy when you think about traveling to a place and we might not be able to make it there if they have an active volcano, which is amazing to see, you know.
Literally, Josh, my husband, was like, can we go when there's a volcano? Like, dang, we just missed the volcano. I'm like, dang, we just missed the volcano. I don't know if that's something I'm interested in. Like, there's tornado chasers and volcano chasers.
Ellie's terrified of tornadoes.
You're just such a daredevil, I guess. That's so you, I guess. I'm just like more of like
I would like to go in a volcano. Which that was one, like not in the hot like lava magma. Like, no, we're not doing that. But
I've been in one not active volcano before in Costa Rica, actually, on a science excursion at college.
Arsenal, something like that. Volcano in Costa Rica. It was very cool. Wow. You could do a mud bath there, which is really amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Okay, we'll circle back. Anywhere you could find like a mud bath situation on vacation. I don't know if there's the
mud bath in Iceland though.
Clay though. We'll get to it. There's a lot of dirty, material.
One thing we did me and my husband, we had gone for my birthday, like I said, in August. And so it was just the two of us. And one thing we did that was like a bougie moment, that was a splurge worthy thing. Probably wouldn't be able to do that every time, but I'm so glad we did it this time. Speaking of volcanoes, we did a helicopter tour that was fire and ice. So what they mean by that,
very Game of Thrones, very Zelda, the like Song of Fire and Ice. That's so cool.
Oh my gosh, it is so Zelda. And 64 so we did this helicopter tour. They have so many different tours in Iceland. The customer service is amazing everywhere there. The people are wonderful. But we were like, what can we do that we want it to be special? We haven't like been out without the kids.
What was the occasion you went as well? That was my first note.
Oh,
actually.
my
Why
birthday.
Did we go?
So it was my 31st birthday, and we like I said, Reza wanted it to be a nonstop flight, and that's where I was limited to like a couple of things
From Chicago.
I wanted to get. I live in Chicago. He wanted to be a nonstop flight. I didn't want to be in the U.S. I wanted something different and special. Like we have these crazy kids. We need to get away. Like really get away. It'd be bonus points if my phone doesn't work.
You have
like,
no cell
I
service.
don't want service. I don't want service where we're going.
It's so funny because
sorry, mom. Sorry, babysitters. Like everyone, you guys got it together. House on fire. I'm in a different country. Not my problem. Like I trust you guys.
That's
you
so
know?
true. The older
I'm
you
relaxing.
get.
I'm in the Blue Lagoon. Oh, like in a volcano. Whoo, take me there.
Wow, I love that.
So
that's something to add for like just overall like how to book a good trip. Make sure there's no self-service.
cabin's great. Which Iceland covers all this, and I want to hear more about where you guys stayed, but I want to talk about the volcano part of this.
Get into the science.
So the volcano, we did this helicopter tour. It's called the Fire and Ice Tour. And so it would take us on a tour. We were with like another couple. It'd be so expensive to do it just like private. And it was like a lot less money. Like if it was with a group, okay, in a helicopter, you can only fit me and my husband and 2 other people and this baby. They didn't speak English. And I will say, never told anyone this, but the baby girl was trying to open the door out of the helicopter the whole time. Reza, my husband, is trying to be like, ma'am, like lady, like she's an older lady, not from here. She had no clue her the granddaughter was trying to open the door to the helicopter. Was she just taking in the sights?
She's like, wow.
She was taking 1,000 pictures. It was she was only on this helicopter ride for the pictures, not taking it in.
Well, you know what, Sarah? I would say, who takes a baby on a helicopter tour? But then I was just remembering. Sarah did that actually.
Maybe we'll do a Hawaii episode sometime. If you guys want to hear it, we'll do it.
It was a big family trip, and she did, in fact, take her baby on a helicopter.
Mom, Grandma Gigi was so mad at that.
He
baby
loved
Luca,
it.
My oldest, he's gonna be 8 in July. He was
he 1?
He was like 7 months. He couldn't walk. He was learning how to walk on the trip. Actually,
that was special.
And we just gave him like a big bottle, and like there's a picture, a great picture. I'll have to pull up with like milk, like mustache, like just like this, like passed out on the airplane ride. And I'm like, I don't know. We all wanted to go.
Honestly, that's helicopter like goals, right? Just like
I guess who would take a baby in a helicopter?
Where's the cookies?
Here's the difference. I wouldn't take a toddler. Really, okay. I would not take a toddler on a helicopter because they're crazy. Toddlers are crazy. Like, I have.
That's fair.
Mack is 3 months. Oh my gosh, all my kids. I have to go oldest to youngest. Luca is about to be 8 next week.
Happy birthday, Luca.
Hudson just had his birthday. He just turned 6. Blake just turned 3 in May. I have all my summer, spring babies. And then baby Mack, April 26th. So he's just a couple months old. I would take Mack on a helicopter ride. I would not take Blake. Probably right now. I love you, Blake, but I wouldn't take you. You're going to cry and be like, let me press every button here.
How many times a day does he cry, do you think? I'm sorry when you're 18 years old and we replay this tape. Blake,
oh my gosh.
He just has so many emotions.
So I'm the only one between me and my sister and my brothers that has kids right now. And so I have to explain when we're all like going to be together on a family trip to Missouri or Michigan that like, you guys, like, it's okay. They cry a lot. They cry like, you know, and I said this about Hudson when he was 3 to 4. Blake was my sweet easygoing when he turned 3, and he's like, man, I'm a crybaby now. Like I cry like 50 times a day, like over nothing. Like he had me like try to lick a cut on his pinky toe today, and he was crying like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. I slept and it hurt, and I woke up with a boo boo. So yeah, side note, but yeah, kids cry a lot. So don't take a toddler on a helicopter. Take a baby. They don't do anything. Throw them on a boob or a bottle. Good.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it. Wow. But thank God for you and Reza being super parents and, you know,
dividing and conquering too. Yeah.
That's cool. You did the group tour. I didn't realize you could do, because honestly, when I heard you guys did a helicopter tour, and not that we were like comparing trips, we went 1 month apart. I went first. It's fine.
Yeah. That's what
she's like, oh, we did a helicopter tour. I'm like, you did what? That's so cool. I didn't know that's
how can you make it more affordable?
Yeah.
Like a helicopter
so you can do everything.
ride, it's a lot. Like I've done helicopter rides in a couple different crazy places we've gone.
Yeah.
We have, when we were with Dad in Hawaii, we did a private one. It was like Dad with his 2 girls, like, okay, protective. We're in Hawaii. Let's do a private one.
The Jurassic Park tour.
This was like 20 years ago too. Like
in Maui.
Yeah, it was like Jurassic Park. It was Jurassic Park in Maui. So like, yes, that was maybe more affordable back then, but expensive now. I've done a helicopter tour in Bora Bora, and
cool.
here, and we've done groups, and it was amazing. Like because it's a lot less money if you do it. And in a helicopter, how many more people can you fit? Again, I was with
I had
the
no
two
idea you
ladies
could do that.
and a little girl who sat
Okay.
on a lap, and then just me and Reza. So
wow.
so yeah, there you go.
So
It's a
that could
boujee,
be-
but how you could kind of make it affordable too.
So, like, spoiler alert for down the line, we're going to talk about bougie and budget. That actually could be
Yes.
kind of budgety. That's going to move from
Yeah.
my official. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. You heard it here
So,
first. That's cool.
With the volcano, the helicopter, so Iceland's amazing. They have a lot of them. So we landed on a glacier and we landed in a volcano, which was amazing.
That's crazy.
So, and that's what you can get with Iceland. It's the land of fire and ice. So we landed on a glacier. It was so like angelic and still, and you just land and it's just like snow and quiet, like pure quiet and snow.
Wow.
And it was beautiful, like with the little kid running around over there, but we went on the other side. And if you can't tell, I love my kids, but when I am on a trip and I don't have kids, I don't want to see another human. I don't want to be my kids. I don't want any of that. And then, so we were there for like a good while, and it was just like beautiful, and it was really nice. I made a snowball, like threw it at Reza. So funny. And then we landed, and then we went with the helicopter guide again, and then we landed. He says it's in a volcano. That sounds insane. I'm thinking like Land Before Time, like volcano. You're not landing in the lava. You are landing right on the outside, not in an active volcano in a peak, but where a volcano was, not an active one. And so you could see the bubbling springs. So like imagine.
It's always one thing about Iceland is it's always a little bubbling. That's why you go there for the hot springs,
the steam, the sulfur, and then you could smell it. Like you could smell
Mm-hmm.
the sulfur when we landed, and we got out, and the guide said, "Please don't touch the water. It's boiling. It's hot." Well, we're like children, like when we're on a trip.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let me like get very close to touching it. And so like we did, and we would throw there was like this tiny little flower, and we put it there and would watch it, like the bubbles like take it around.
Oh, really? That's
down
so
the stream.
cool.
And so it was just, you could smell the sulfur. There's steam coming out everywhere. And it was so warm there. But the moss, like where you talked about the green with Iceland, there is a lot of moss. So that was a really cool thing too.
So I wonder, okay, dream with me with your science you have going on over there.
Sure.
So I feel like when there's like a forest fire, right, everything is kind of like, burned. Then there's a growth, right?
Where are we going?
A lot of green pops up because of that. So that's
yeah.
always why Iceland is actually so green, is because of the volcanic nature.
Yes.
Science.
Something that's so interesting that Ali and Josh taught me when I was like, well, what do you guys think? What's Iceland like? They're like, it's like Mars. Like
Oh my
it's
God.
somewhere that's so like different.
Foreign. And that's what you want out of a vacation too. Is somewhere that just
it's
like
very
blows
unique.
your mind, unique.
Mind
occasionally.
blowing. It was being in all the craters. So it's like, yes, with all like the like a forest fire, and then that's what we can imagine here in the US, a forest fire, everything's black and dark. And then from that is growth, like in green. And so there it's like the black craters and the lava rocks that are covered by green moss. It looks like you're in another planet.
Truly.
And it's quiet. It's so quiet.
Eerily
You're breathing in
so,
healthy air.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand how, because there's, sulfur and like volcanoes and everything going on.
It works.
But yeah, it's really, Iceland's a big focus on health and wellness. And
I was gonna say two more things
Yes.
too. I think something just reminded me about like the look of it and like how it's creepy. Do you want to know 3 movies that were filmed there?
Yes.
I wrote it
tell
down.
me, yeah,
Okay.
what are the movies that are filmed there?
Prometheus, The Northman, and Interstellar. It's talking about it being kind of Mars-like. Truly. Isn't that
that's
cool?
amazing then.
It makes sense when you go back and look at it. So you guys want some like kind of like, what is Iceland like? Watch those movies or look at our Instagram.
You think it's just snow and ice and all that, and there's so
green
much.
and Mars-like, if that even makes sense. It's like two in the same.
So when you were there June, July, you said?
I was there end of June, which was our anniversary. And podcast pour. Let's go.
Are we allowed to have a sip? Like,
cheers to Iceland.
Cheers to Iceland. Cheers to be able to celebrate and have one post
Sarah,
baby.
this is the podcast pour. So things have changed since your last show.
We did that stone sober,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I heard that's not what goes on these podcasts nowadays, though.
Share Channel is
We got the cozy channel. We got the I love it. You love it.
You love it.
You love it.
We got hot shit.
Yeah.
So Sarah doesn't like to talk about that one.
Don't like to talk about it. I love Abby. I love your other co-host for that Abby, but I don't love to talk about that.
We have a little bit of everything for everyone. And now podcast pour.
Wow, we can have wine on this
It's
while thinking
really
about
great.
volcanoes in Iceland. This This is the best.
Okay, so let me take you through my journey. So Josh and I
Yes.
were there for anniversary, but the only reason we kind of
yes.
backed it into this
What
kind
was
of
the
trip
anniversary? Can
it
I
was our
ask?
first year, our 1 year anniversary.
Wow, to
Yeah.
be young and wild and celebrate first anniversary.
Okay, so here's the
Please,
thing.
I want to be there.
You know what's funny is we eloped, and then after our actual 1 year anniversary was getting married. It was a reception for everyone, so that was crazy. So this was technically
The
our
wedding was a
2-year
reception, sure.
So like that was a really intense 1 year anniversary present.
Then why did I plan so much?
Throwing, right,
for
you
you
know.
if it was just a reception.
So technically it was our 2 year, but 1 year, however you look at it, anniversary. So we're like, we want to do something special for the anniversary. And it just so happened that we were going to a friend of a family friend's wedding in the UK. And we're like,
Okay.
if you're traveling overseas, it's best to like, literally the best life saying, when in Rome.
When in Rome, baby.
We love a life quote. When in Rome, truly. Like, see the sights. I don't know the rest of that saying.
I
Maybe
would
there's
say,
more
can
to
I
it.
just tell you one quick thing about Allie? Like, I'm gonna bash her as a little sis, and her mom
Oh,
gonna
okay.
test. I don't know the right like word saying either, but Al, she can't get a saying right. So when in Rome, that's a good short one.
Okay.
If there was one time you were talking about like wheels and a tire, squeaky mouse gets
Oh
the
my
cheese or something like that.
squeaky
She's
wheel
gonna
gets the
remember
cheese.
one part of the saying. She's not gonna remember the full thing, and I don't really know them either.
But you
So-
just give me a look, and she's like she's like, she
I'm like,
knows my heart's in the right place. But I'm usually combining
care.
2 quotes into one is what happens in my brain. So it's kind of like I'm dyslexic.
Our mom's
with
like,
life
you
quotes.
you can't say these things if you don't know them, Ailey. But when in Rome is a great one.
When in Rome
the
applies
squeaky
here.
mouse gets the cheese.
I
don't
think
know.
so. I'm gonna just. I'm not even gonna try to correct you on it because I think that's it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Someone's
If
gonna
you're
fact
loud,
check
you're
us
gonna
on
get
this.
heard. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Anyways, when in Rome, we did travel. So I'm like, okay, what else is in the UK? What's overseas? What can we do?
Sure.
And sure enough, Iceland, which has just been like so circled in my heart and in the stars and just my top number 1 place I've always wanted to go. Like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's kind of close by, right? Like,
What made you want to go there?
I
This was
just-
something I didn't totally know about. I kind of saw a couple of things. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, cool. I think there's waterfalls and black sand. I don't know.
Yes.
Like, I didn't even know about the Blue Lagoon. So, like, what made your heart want to go there?
all of the above. I just thought like it's funny when you're like not little, but when you're like younger, you're like, what's my dream honeymoon, right? So do you want
Yes.
like adventure, or do you want vacation? Do you want to relax, or do you want adventure? And I
yeah,
always
beach
wanted
adventure city, right?
I always wanted like a safari because like something wild, like
Right.
that just takes you out of your normal day-to-day element. And I'm like, what's something my eyes haven't seen yet? And it's like I want the
Oh, I
opposite.
love that.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, then your day to day, like
Yeah.
what's something that you don't experience in your day to day? Like,
Yeah.
sure, there could be a beach in Indiana, in Chicago, California, Florida, but like, let's make it crazy. Let's go to
Yeah.
Iceland that looks like Mars. And
Totally.
there's volcanoes erupting everywhere.
Totally.
You know?
And I guess my my passion has always been Alaska. So my AOL screen name growing
Oh
up.
my
in-
gosh. Alaska 1230, shout out.
Shout out. I've
AOL
always been
screen name. I'm Apple Sizzler. Hit me up.
Yeah,
That is
you
my
are.
video game name. Not that I play a lot nowadays, but
Okay. Well, you do with your kids. You're implementing the next generation. Okay.
Yes.
So throwback to like always. I think this is like maybe because like I'm a winter birthday too. I'm a December birthday. She's an August birthday. I've always
Yes.
been drawn to like wintry places. I'm
Yeah.
very Capricorn.
it's crazy. You want to have like a baby in the winter. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like,
If you know,
but
you know, you know.
those indoor ice skating, birthday parties, bowling alleys, you can make it crazy. Just like having
Yeah.
all boys, people are like, ooh, but like, how is like clothing for them? And like, it's hard, but you,
Yeah.
like, I don't look at the girls section, but like, it is achievable. Like, just like a winter birthday and having boys, those shouldn't be the same thing. But I'm like,
It is
Janie and
achievable.
Jack and Gap and
Yeah.
like Polo are great for boys. Like, you just have to
Yeah.
look a little harder. Winter birthdays, you have
You have
to
to
look
work
a little harder.
harder. I think that's why I'm a
Yeah.
festive, overly festive person.
why you're
and that's
into
why,
Iceland.
And that's why I'm
Okay,
into
this
Iceland.
makes sense.
So luckily, my man was on board with that, and we were like, yeah, let's just. So we went to the wedding, but before that, our friend's wedding in the UK. We went to Iceland for a couple days to the anniversary, and I guess let's get into like how we did each of our trips. Like,
Yes.
how do you do
They
it
both were very different.
on a budget? Because we're always on a budget. Like, let's get real.
Yeah.
Like,
Money doesn't grow on trees. Like I
You-
just taught my kids last night. Like
No.
I found out my middle guy, he added something to my mom's Amazon cart. And I said, Hudson, money does not grow on trees. He goes, why would money not grow on trees? I'm like,
but why?
we're not dinosaurs and eat like the leaves that are money on trees. No. So let's talk like how can we make the dreams come true? It's not like an unlimited spending spree here. And so like
doing
incorporating
the things
bougie and budget.
you want to do. So actually before that, should we get into our top 3 activities and then
Yes.
talk about what was bougie and what was budget
Sure.
and how we made them both happen?
Ale, please tell me. Alex, a lady of many names.
Thank you so much.
And
Al
my
is like
host.
for my real one.
Host of the Cherry Channel.
Oh my gosh, go. We're all hosts.
So please tell me, what were your top couple favorite things that you did in Iceland, since you're the one who first did this and I was the copycat big sis
Oh my
of your
God.
trip.
Thank you for giving my flowers right now. And my, like, I never get the
The
moment,
props,
the
the
props. I never post on Instagram either, really, for my personal life. I'm just so bad at it. Sarah's amazing at it. And I made sure I'm like, okay, yeah, Sarah, you could go there for your birthday after me, but like, I'm going to post first.
I couldn't believe she posted this girl. I want to call you a different name. She does not post ever. She posted her wedding and a picture with my kids. So twice a year she posts. And then I'm like going there for Iceland. It's going to be so great. And then she just posted a bunch of these. I'm like,
I think
Ellie,
3 posts in a row, which is 10
come
pictures
on.
each. I needed
Everyone
to.
knows you went there and everyone knows I'm the copycat. Okay. Copycat,
share.
big sis, sit with the little. We have the same mind and brain. So it's all good. You know?
Happiness is real when it's shared, Sarah. So
Yeah, that's what you've always said.
It's true.
So it is. And I'm glad. Okay. So tell me, what were the top favorite things that you guys did there?
I barely even need to look at our fancy index cards.
It was couples trips for both of us. So from a couple
Couples.
point of view, we can give some other feedback. And if you guys want to private message us too, Instagram, TikTok,
what to
whatever.
do with families, what to do on girls trip, guys trip,
it can
couples
be
trip,
a good
solo.
family trip. We want to go with our mom. We were almost going to go with our mom and my oldest guy, who's like also a thrill seeker. Like
Yeah.
he'd be in a helicopter. But he'd probably go in the volcano though. We were going to go with him. So there's ways you could do it with all. So speaking from our couples trip, tell us.
Okay, so what really worked for Josh and I, he might have a different list than me, but what I loved was, here's my top 3.
Yes.
Is so exciting. Okay, number 1, we did horseback riding because there are Icelandic ponies and they're so cool and so plentiful. They are everywhere in Iceland and they're so cute and they have like crimpy hair and they're like majestic.
Just like your hair?
Just like my hair today. Actually, it's so funny you bring that up. This is my Icelandic pony hair.
Oh my God, the Icelandic party pony.
Oh my God.
Shout out.
Shout out. Inspired, truly festive. That's so funny. Yes. So it was, and you know what's funny is, okay, so there's tons of options for booking this too. So is it called Viator? Viator is one of like the travel, like Get Your Guide is the other one, I think too, which is like travel groups, ways to like just book local activities. So we learned this from
I like that there's reviews on this too, Viator.
Pictures,
that there
reviews.
are reviews. So when we were looking for a cooking class in Croatia, there's like 15 different ones. There's 5 I really liked. And how do you know? I wanted to see like what the place was going to look like what they would cover over the course and all that. We're doing a huge family trip for
and
Croatia,
you're abroad.
so,
like, are you gonna like? Is it gonna
get
be
your
safe?
money?
Is
Get
it
more
okay?
like bang for your buck. I want to
Yeah.
know I'm not going to invest my time and money on something that's not going to work. So
Totally.
I really like that site a lot. And TripAdvisor's a really great one too. You're always going to have more people complaining than not. So take that with a grain of salt.
Totally.
I always say with TripAdvisor.
I always say when it's a good one, I'm like, I should be the person to leave a good review when I really mean it, because it's so easy to leave a bad review when because you're more
What's the review
fired
place
up.
I don't like?
Yelp.
Yeah, I don't. I think everyone
We
just
don't
goes
need
there
your
to
sponsorship.
complain. I just think everyone goes there to complain.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of positives on all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this one was booked through Viator.
Yes.
Viator. And it was cool because honestly, we were looking just like through. There's so many that is like the thing to do. There's like 3 things to do in Iceland. Like it's, like the hot springs, like doing some kind of a pony ride and
the waterfalls.
There's so much
the
to
Blue
do there,
Lagoon.
but what they're known for, because they just have so many of them, is that. So there were so many to look through. So we did this one and it was amazing. It was also raining the day we did it because it was.
I remember. Did you guys have like the ponchos
we had
on?
orange crazy ponchos and with the helmets on, and it was cool. I haven't ridden a horse in a long time since we were like kids, and so I was like, do I still have it? It's like riding a bike. Josh was way more familiar because he grew up with horses. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was experienced, and they divide you up into groups then. So we found one that we liked. Like there was like, it was a big group and it was like affordable, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is gonna be fun to like pencil in.
Because again, you could do a private thing for horses and all that anywhere I've been at least, and then you could do a group one. Do the group one.
It's
fine. You're still gonna be with your honey,
it's
like
fine.
on a horse,
and it makes you feel better
off.
too if you're not the best or the worst, but you're somewhere in the middle. You kind of need that. Like so. So it was raining. We get there, and they're like, they really like. They're all so nice there too, because they're just like love like
Icelandic people.
They like the tourists. They're there.
Amazing.
We're all like genuinely happy. It goes both ways. Like they like our company, so we're there. literally like you have rubber boots on. We have like the
my
hazmat
God.
suits on, like, cause they're like, don't get cold, you
Because
know?
of the rain and cold?
It's a little cold, but it was so
in
'cause
July and in June
end
and
of
July.
June,
So that's good
early
to
July.
know the time frame.
Yeah.
Because it is light out
24 hours a
24/7.
day. Yeah.
And in our summer here, it's completely light out.
Mm-hmm.
And in the winter, then I think it's a lot of mostly hours of darkness. I don't think they have a lot of hours of light.
No.
Because we were looking to go with Mom and Luca in November. And I think we're like, okay, there'd be 3 hours, 4 hours of daylight.
But
Like,
it would be all northern lights, which is
pretty
cool.
amazing.
Pretty
and
cool.
It's Northern Lights there. That is something to be known for Iceland.
That's
it's one of
high
the seven
season.
wonders of the world.
Is it?
Yep, I looked this up.
Wow,
I'm like, this
science.
has to be a world wonder. Like, it just does. And
Yeah.
so the Northern Lights is one of the seven world wonders. And
And you
it's in
can see it
Iceland.
in a few different places, but you can really see it. They were the ones who, I don't want to say they invented it, but like they made it popular. You could see it amazingly there.
Yes. And
Yeah.
they actually, when I was researching this more, they don't recommend staying we'll definitely get into the hotel there,
Mm-hmm.
but the retreat at the Blue Lagoon, they don't recommend seeing it there because of the light pollution. So it is better if you stay somewhere where like Allie stayed, where please tell us about the glass houses, because that is something I wanted to do. We didn't get it. Me and my husband didn't get a chance to do it because you have to drive further out. We were there less time than Allie and Josh. And so, but it's a glass house.
I'm so glad you bring it up. This brings me to point number
Oh,
2.
I wanna do it.
To conclude the pony rides, they were amazing, and they
yeah.
were. It was
The
really
ponies
nice.
with the
We made
crimped
it.
hair.
We made it. We made it in the advanced medium group too, where I could trot and go fast. I'm
Oh, I
like, I
didn't know they
don't
did
know if
groups.
I had it in me, and I was kind of scared, but it was so cool. And it was like,
It's like being summer camp with little kids. You get the caps if you're a beginner swimmer or intermediate, or you
I'm
could go in the
like,
deep
we
end.
can always go back, but exactly, I never made it to that advanced group. I was too scared, I think.
Ew, you would like jump like over jumps and
divers.
stuff like that, like as horseback.
swim
We did
group.
horseback riding back in the day.
We did. So you're
Okay.
right. So I was nervous, but we made
Okay.
it through
Yeah.
that group. It was rainy, but it made it more fun too. And like Josh was so good because he's, more like
Did they
secure.
give you
He was
guys all
taking
the
so many-
materials to like suit up to be warm? Because it is
Oh,
good to know if
yeah.
people go there and it's raining or cold, like it's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was. They want you to be so comfortable. When I say they give us like hazmat suits, they made sure we had like so much protection. We were like sweaty almost. It was like warm, which
Oh,
was great.
okay.
And I got a souvenir when I was there. It was like some kind of, I think it's like the horses there, they have like this hair. And so they have like
Icelandic hair for the horses.
got it
They need to
made-
be protected too.
like how they just give them like shaves or something. It was like a humane way of making like a sweater. Like they had like little horse hair on it. Like it was literally.
So the horses were wearing sweaters?
No, I got one as a souvenir. That would be so cute though.
I think that's so cute. I have a visual for this. Does anyone else
They
have a
lo-
visual of like a
little horse, a little
with a little
pony.
sweater? Because it's cold in Iceland, Like
Yeah.
honestly, when
They
we
love
were-
their ponies there. They're very protective of their ponies though. It's a very
That's
it's
great.
very cute.
when we were there in August, I didn't know what the weather would be like. I don't do cold weather well. I don't. I know I live in Chicago. I don't enjoy it. I
No.
want to be on a beach again,
Yeah.
warm. And it felt like if you live in Chicago, Midwest, it felt like an early October week. It felt like a late September. Early September, it could be 90 and 100. But then it felt like the end of the season, it was just like brisk. It was very brisk, but like you could go outside and be comfortable. You didn't need a huge coat or parka or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was in like a sweater dress and like leggings.
You had amazing
boots.
Iceland outfits. They were
Wow.
really, really good.
Thank
by the
you
way.
so much.
Check her
Like,
Instagram. Actually, it's really good. What's your
Check
at
it out.
Sarah?
At Sarah O. It's
H-H-H.
not just an O. It's
We'll tag it.
H.
We'll
Like
tag it.
our maiden names for both of us is Oremus, which we were just talking about on the way here. Like, why? Like, do we change our Instagram names? Like, I'm starting to make like mom friends, and they're like, "Why is this girl's name Sarah O?"
It's too far into our identity.
Oh.
Sarah and Ali O.
We used to have a radio show called the
Sarah and Ali O Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it all started.
That's how it
but
started.
I'm
That's
not-
where we're at.
I'm not changing my Instagram now.
No.
I've gone too far.
Our husbands are fine with it.
So that's good to know. So I wanted people to know the time of year and like it's not going to be miserable freezing or anything
No,
like that.
no,
like,
no.
it was
Not if you in the
comfortable.
summer, it's comfortable. In
Yeah.
the winter, I think just plan to bundle up and maybe be in the cabin or something because you don't need to leave.
Yes.
The show
okay.
is there.
Tell us about the glass house. What do they
Okay,
call it?
I want to get the name
Iceland?
perfectly correctly. It's the
Yes.
panoramic glass cabin, and it was
Glass cabins.
yes, and
Floor
it was,
to ceiling window glass.
the whole
windows.
thing was made of glass. So I made the joke on my Instagram. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
It was so good.
Thank
Check
you
out
so
Ellie's
much. Oh my gosh.
Instagram. What is it?
That redhead Ali O. It's me.
That's her.
Thank you. I'm like not a great poster, but I'm getting better, especially when I go to Iceland. I'm like, okay, I have to
Yes.
share.
So the glass.
So the panoramic
cabin.
glass cabin. And there's honestly, that's one brand, which was, they were amazing. Like they were great to work with. There's so many because they know that's
They're
what people are there
affordable.
for.
Like
yeah.
I thought this would be $1,000 a night or something to stay in a glass cabin.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ones.
They range
too,
from
that
like,
you can do.
I would say 250 to like upwards of like 7. It depends on how big you need of a cabin. They're
Yeah.
used to like, they're very family oriented there too. So they're like, oh, we have like a little mini mansion cabin for you if you want, for you
Like
and your
2
like
to 3
5
bedrooms.
kids. Yeah.
and
So that could like add to the cost. But honestly, for Josh and I, we were just there the first day we landed. I'm like, well, we're gonna be jet lagged anyways. So why don't we just stay up
Yeah.
all night in a 24-hour like daylight cabin, like
I
with
love
with
that.
the glass. So we did that, and then that was like how we kind of like had a savings, and then we did the Blue Lagoon after that. We stayed at the hotel. So it was kind of bougie and budget. But to make it work
Yes.
for both, we did both. And it was great, honestly.
And you rented a car to get there too.
We rented a car. We
Very
made it
friendly for that.
road trip vibes.
Oh
my
gosh.
favorite. Not Sarah's favorite so much.
I'll like road trips again one day, just not in this time of life right now. Why would I want to
Yeah.
be in the car with 4 freaking kids screaming right now?
No.
I don't. With me and her going a little bit.
I think it'd be really fun.
Can I have a car roadie? Like, can I have some snacks? Can I have some cookies and milk and a glass of
Absolutely.
Chardonnay? Like,
well, you have
please.
music like cued to the vibe, to the what's going
I'm too
on.
ADD. I don't want music. I just want to talk.
That
like,
is true. That
you
is
know,
true about you.
I just want to be at the location and like enjoy and relax. So,
I agree.
But so you can't. So that's good to know. Iceland.
We
So
rented the car when we got
How
there.
big is Iceland?
Okay, so Iceland, we looked this up. Iceland can
Yes.
fit inside Colorado.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy. So you can
That
see
is.
a lot of it. I mean, honestly, Josh and I drove from the capital, which is Reykjavik. We looked it up. We've been saying it wrong for sure, but we looked up a few like
I'm saying
this is how you pronounce
yeah,
it,
I'm not gonna say how I
Reykjavik.
said it,
So we
yes.
went to the capital of Iceland, and that's where you fly in. It's so easy to fly into there. Rented a car,
Yes.
and literally
renting
we
a car is very easy there too.
Yeah,
like,
really
don't
easy.
be scared. When we went to Turks and Caicos, all of a sudden we get to rent a car, and my husband's like, I'm gonna kill you, Sarah. Do you know they drive on the wrong side of the road here? I've never done this. Did you know this? I'm like, no, I just want to be here. Like, whatever. Iceland's great. It's easy. Everyone speaks English. It's very friendly. Everyone's
Very.
so nice. And you just get in the car, and you're like 20 minutes from the Blue Lagoon. If you
Yeah.
just want to go straight there, hotels, Airbnbs, not that far. It's not a big place.
the
exactly
city
like
of
she said.
the city of Reykjavik as
Yes.
well is really cute and
I
nice
think
too. It's like a little
40 minutes from the airport.
It's a little
so not
fisherman's
bad.
town. Josh and I actually stopped in there, and it was very like boating, and you could see like whales. There's whale
Yes.
tours, and there's like amazing fish everywhere to eat.
There are
too.
whale
It's
tours you can do there. I forgot about that.
Everything
we
is
weren't in the
very
season for that.
sailor
We
vibes.
went to this
Cute.
like boat museum.
Yeah,
And it was incredible. So you can eat there too, and it was one of the most amazing meals we had. It
Yeah.
was so peaceful. Iceland overall is the most peaceful place I have ever been to in my life. It is so calm and quiet and chill. If you're like more like a party, like couple, that's probably not where you want to go right now.
Yeah.
I do know of a couple who like recently went there. They wanted to like go like more bar hop and go there. So they
Oh.
did go to the capital. Like they stayed
Yeah.
at a small hotel. There's not like big, like huge hotels there. So they did stay at the capital
Cool.
and went to a couple different bar places and then still went to Blue Lagoon and had a fun time. But like, if you're someone who's more social, wanted to meet other couples on trips, like maybe more Mexico's your jam.
Yeah, totally.
Than Iceland. Iceland
Iceland
is, like, more inward.
Sarah. It's giving zen.
It's very zen.
It's giving. Have you ever said it's giving? It's giving.
No, is this what the cool kids
Yeah.
say nowadays?
It's
giving.
It's giving. Tranquil. It's giving. Amazing. Like,
is.
oh my gosh.
It is such
excuse.
a health and wellness focused
Yeah.
place that it has like this was like just last August we went and me and my husband are trying to find how can we replicate like our favorite places in the world are Iceland and the Blue Lagoon, but Iceland and
just Iceland
and
is
Turks
down there
and Caicos.
twice.
Like, how can we combine that beachiness and secludedness of Turks and Caicos with Iceland, the spa and wellness thing? He is not a spa guy. He never
No.
thought he would be, but it was so focused on health. Let's go in the sauna for 20 minutes, then let's go like cold plunge.
Yeah.
And then then let's like do some scrubs and face masks and stuff. And he's like, what? I don't want to do that. But like, man, was our skin glowing and soft like after all
you
that.
feel so rejuvenated from inside out. The pace of Iceland is just so, and they're just, it's all of it. They're nice.
Chill.
That's their vibe
slow
there.
down.
Okay, so continuing on with the road trip, which is tranquil, I think.
Yes,
too. You
were in the glass cabin.
Yeah,
you guys did horses.
Yeah,
and so that was great. In the rain, didn't matter. Amazing time. Like,
so that's my number one. My number two was the road trip aspect of it too. Honestly, was just like driving around, like doing the cabin, and then going to the Blue Lagoon, like just kind of taking the island as our own. And we're like, okay, let's like hop around in our car, and literally we went from like the east to the west to the east, and from the airport to the eastmost part, which was the black sand beaches in Vik.
I didn't get to go there at all, and
oh my gosh,
I wanted like this half of your trip. I needed to be there another week so we could have like the glass cabin and like. How is that though? Like waking up, because is it light out?
We slept because they give you blinds. Okay, so going back to the glass cabin.
Sorry, just a quick question. I'm sure our listeners are wondering, like, wait, if it's like 24/7, like light, like how do you sleep?
That's a good question.
And there's no like curtains.
So you don't want to because you're so excited. First off, you're just like, and it was kind of rainy there, and it was just like so beautiful. But they give you like they know like you want to sleep, so they give you like the little like eye mask, and they give you little robes. And actually, Josh and I knew we were renting a car and on a road trip, so we stopped at a grocery store. Speaking of health and wellness. The grocery stores are so good there too. I love grocery stores.
Didn't stop at a grocery store. Yes,
you're
very.
Know.
They just did a Trader Joe's on. We love it.
Yeah,
like you guys just did the Trader Joe's when grocery stores are important.
I love a local grocery store too, just to kind of take in the culture and the vibe of like this of the area. Yes. And they were like, we made avocado toast like homemade with our egg. We flipped and we did that in a little glass cabin. They give you like a little pot and a pan, and so
Iceland is an island in the middle of the Atlantic, and so with that you do have to know going into that like yes. It's a nonstop flight on Southwest. Get your Southwest points.
Oh my God.
Less than 7 hours
from Chicago.
Nonstop. And so, yeah, you can make things affordable that way. But then, you're going to be like, okay, now there's a lot of island pricing. Could be really expensive. So what I always recommend, and people who I nannied for, like they told us when we were going on our honeymoon to an island, bring your alcohol with you. Like wrap it in a robe, wrap it in your pajamas.
I didn't know you can do this, and that's shocking. Like as Shardy queens.
Yes.
What? You could?
Yes. When we were going on our honeymoon, and even in Iceland, I'm like, I want a lot of Chardonnay with me. My husband doesn't really drink a lot, so I not at all anymore. But like, so I am wrapping my pajama pants with my bottles of Chardonnay and pajama pants.
This is Sarah. This is the one. You know how we do like little social teasers, you guys?
Yes.
This is the one.
So you want to go to Iceland, you want to go to Bora Bora, you want to go to an island, but maybe you can't afford all the things with that island pricing. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take your bottles of alcohol you want. You want vodka, you want your good bourbon, you want your Chardonnay. Give me Farniente, Chardonnay all day.
Natural
nickel
wine.
And nickel. Give Ailey that natural wine. You are going to take that with you because it's going to be very expensive on an island. You're going to wrap your black like legging pajama pants, and you are
Get
going
specific.
to
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Then it's not going to stain. So don't do like your white. Like I'm a bride. Everything's white. Don't do that because I don't want to take like chances.
No.
You're going to do your black like pajama pants, and you are going to wrap your bottles of wine with that in your suitcase. Make a little like pajama section there. Do your nice dresses on the other side. Of the suitcase.
By your husband's stuff.
Yep. Toiletries, perfume, and your pajamas and bathing suits and your Chardonnay are all going to be on one side of your suitcase, and you are going to go live that island life too, and not have to like be like, oh my gosh, I like the wine was so expensive on the island.
You just blew my mind. I can't. Why have we never talked about this till now?
No.
Do you know how many trips I've been? Okay, we have to talk about this offline. Podcast pour to you, queen.
Mine's gone.
and get your Costco wine also.
Oh, get your Costco wine. Woo woo. Yes.
You know, our listeners really liked the Costco plug that you connected people with Bora Bora to Costco, like how to do that.
Right. Oh my
enhance
gosh.
that connection.
And
that was pretty cool.
Talk about that more on another episode. We can talk about honeymoons like more in depth. I know we like just scratch the surface of it, but Bora Bora, super expensive. How can we like kind of do it a little bit guilt free? Like, cause you're going there like I just spent so much money in a room. Like,
how do
you
book it like
bad?
months in advance and you kind of forget about it and you're like,
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you get there, like, okay, food's expensive, alcohol's expensive,
Totally.
everything's expensive. Like, so yeah, bring your alcohol with you in a suitcase. Leave those extra heels at
BYOA.
home. You don't need heels at Iceland.
No,
you don't.
You don't.
I brought one pair. I'm like, don't need these. You know what
You
Iceland
don't.
is? It's the place of robe and slippers.
It truly, truly is. Everywhere gives it to you, whether you're staying at Airbnb. You stayed at an Airbnb too. Do you want to quickly just jump into your Airbnb?
Sure.
Or do you want me to finish my third?
I want you to finish yours.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm like,
we get
wait.
chatty and excited, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iceland is honestly, Iceland is a place I want to tell everyone about, but I don't really want to because I don't want it to get like so populated.
I know.
Iceland is just so special and so unique. You'll never see anywhere else like that.
No.
So I want to share the knowledge, but
happiness is real when it's shared with our friends.
We're going to
and
share
followers.
it. Just don't ever book the ticket tonight to go in February. So I want to go back.
The third thing I was going to say on my favorite thing that happened in Iceland activity was the 7-step ritual.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is, I feel like you can
it.
find it in so many different areas because what they're known for, give me the science, is their hot springs.
Are we talking about the Blue Lagoon?
We're talking about the Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
Ooh,
We're talking
you
about
guys
the
wanted
Blue
to hear
Lagoon.
about it. We're here to talk about it. The Blue Lagoon.
We did have someone actually like ask us like privately, like, have you guys ever been to the Blue Lagoon? Yes, we have.
Yep, we have.
And it was an out-of-body amazing experience. It was one of the most amazing things that you can do for yourself and your body and your mind and your health and your wellness is do the Blue Lagoon. And we'll tell you how to do it expensive and how to do it like, okay, I can't stay on property.
We're going to get the day pass and you're going to do it in some
Yes.
capacity.
How can we do both? And so
It ranges.
The 7-step ritual is something that is at the Blue Lagoon Hotel, which is called the Retreat Hotel. And it is expensive.
That's
it's
on the
splurge.
bougie side of things. So if
It's a honeymoon.
Yeah.
It's a
special occasion.
special thing.
You can do it a couple days there and then stay at an Airbnb or a cabin. You can break it up or just, bougie it up and go off.
That's
If you
how we
can,
both did it. It's expensive to stay there.
Yeah.
It's over $1,000 a night, like upward of $2,000.
Crazy.
And so we both did different places. I stayed at an Airbnb.
You stay up the entire night and you don't sleep. You enjoy every second of it if you're there.
Yes, you enjoy
you are
every
there
second.
every single second.
I cried every night. I was
Make
in
it emotional.
Iceland
Make it count.
because I was like, this is the most amazing place I'll ever be. And how can it even get better? Iceland's that good that I'm not a crier. My heart has hardened.
Oh my God.
And I don't cry anymore. And I'm like, I cried every night. And my husband's like, why are you crying? I'm like, because this is the most amazing place we'll ever be.
Truly.
And it can't get better than this. So for us, we stayed at an Airbnb a couple days and then we did the hotel for a couple days, the retreat. You also did that.
Same thing. Cabined the first half, and
glass
then we did a
cabin.
couple days at just like the retreat.
retreat.
And you know what's cool about the retreat? Now that we're talking about it, they know like you're there. It's like what you're there for is just to like be there.
Customer service.
The
top
customer
level.
service. First off, when you arrive, you're like in a James Bond villain's lair.
gosh.
Like
It
it's
is
very
like James Bond.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very very cool, and it's like it should be right. It
It's
should be
stone.
And
It is stone. There's
it's
grays
stone.
and blacks, and then like little peak holes that are cut out in the stone gray walls that like look like stars on the ground.
It's very unassuming. It's very like it's off the side of like it
Yeah.
looks like a sulfur factory. I don't know what's going on. It's right
Yes.
by like the airport, honestly. And we're like, is
Yeah,
this
20
it? Are
minutes.
we here? And this is what our money is like. But then
Yes.
you get there and they take care of everything really for you. Like we did an amazing yoga class for free, but it's part
You
of it.
did it. I
Yeah.
walked into
I
that
did.
yoga room, but we slept for like 10 hours the
Yeah,
first day
yeah.
and missed it.
Wow. Well, I guess for you having some like you have kids, you wanted to sleep and like that is part of why you're
No,
there.
I didn't want to.
Okay.
Like I didn't want to. That's why I was crying because I slept like too much the first day we were there.
And part of what
Don't
they
enjoy
want
it.
you to do with that price point is the 7-step ritual. So the Blue Lagoon
Yes.
is divided into the public and like they have the private sector of it kind of also. So everyone can enjoy the Blue Lagoon, whether like you're there for the day or staying at the hotel. So if you're staying at the hotel, they give you kind of like a little access for like not a lot of people there, and they let you do kind of all kinds of crazy things in the Blue Lagoon. There's like a floating massage you can do.
Don't get me
You
started.
can do. We're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. There's the 7-step ritual. So I was just talking about. So this is like if you are a spa wellness girl, you like facials, anything.
This
if
is
you
where you
enjoy-
need to be.
Okay.
I'm still searching for a good place.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now in the Caribbean. That's just like Iceland, but like Caribbean. Give me some
Okay.
beach vibes too.
Report back to
In
us. We
the
wanna know.
U.S., there is Miraval in Arizona. They have a couple different locations. But I like the Arizona
Okay.
one. There's another one on the East Coast. So there's some in the U.S., but like Iceland, it's next level.
All right, help me explain the 7-step ritual because I know you did it too. Because again, this is what they want you to do when you're there. Like, drink the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
You love it. It's
Let's
like,
explain the Blue Lagoon
Okay,
first.
okay, sure.
So people who don't know about the Blue Lagoon. So the Blue Lagoon is amazing. So it's that milky blue color. So like you can't go like with goggles there and go underwater. They don't allow diving. They don't allow like underwater swimming and stuff.
put your
because
hair
you
up,
can't
they
see it.
say too, because it's going to
You
be
have to
really.
put so much conditioner.
They give you
in your hair.
conditioner upon entry of
Yes.
the lagoon too.
Yes,
But then you want the
have
picture
to.
and you get a little wet anyways. It's fine.
Yes,
It's
like
fine.
so you have to do that. It makes your skin feel amazing after that. Your hair, it's horrible for.
Yeah.
It is comprised. It's a healing waters that is comprised of sulfur and magnesium and
Oh my gosh.
silica. Yes, and so that is. Well, that's why it feels so amazing for your skin and it's good for your body. It's these healing properties and it's so calming too. So that gives it that milky appearance from the sea thermal waters.
Wow, a
And-
science queen.
Oh my gosh, no, I love like my spa and skincare things.
You are. One
And
thing about Sarah is she's very good at the science and loves it of our skin and like
Yes.
products.
So
Yeah.
these products are amazing. And so this
Yeah.
is what the Blue Lagoon is. So that's what it looks like. You can Google it. It's amazing. Like I said, it's it should be one of the 7 wonders.
It
of the
really
world.
should
It
be.
should be. That's why I think I originally looked it up. I'm like, oh no, it's not. But the Northern Lights are one of the 7 wonders. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
You dip in this like is sulfur. Is it sulfur water?
It's sulfur,
And
silica.
How hot is it?
It's always warm year round. So
Yeah.
that's the thing about the Blue Lagoon is you go in the winter time, dead of winter, and it is still warm. It's the same temperature as it is in the summer, spring, and fall. So that's great. So you can go year round. We went, like I said, in the summer, and you can go in the winter. It's just going to be dark really early. But
That
then
would be so trippy. That'd be crazy.
yeah, I looked up the times of like when it was open. It would be open, and it's open till midnight. Some of the nights, some of the days of the week, it's open till 10 and 9.
Well, because the days are flip flopped and it's crazy in the winter, anyways. You're like,
but it's dark from
9
like 2
a.m.
p.m.
Yeah.
You go there at 2 p.m. You're like, it's midnight looking outside. Like, no, it's 2 p.m. and it's dark. And then it's the same thing at 12. Same thing in the summer when we went. And like, I went outside at like midnight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it is light out. This is beautiful.
So cool.
But yeah, so
Ugh.
it's open year round. It's open every single day of the year. Just the timing is different. The times there. So that is what the Blue Lagoon is. It's amazing. And so
It's one
to
of
view
many
it
hot
general.
springs too. There are
Yes.
other ones as well.
There are other lagoons,
Yeah.
different hot springs you can go to that are more affordable too. I think
Yeah.
that if you are not a guest of the hotel, I want to say a day pass starts at $57.
Okay.
And that gets you entrance in there. I think it gets you a drink too.
And it gives you like a little spa. They have a little
the
spa
mask,
bar.
the face mask.
Yeah,
Yes.
which
Like,
is
so
so
it does
cool.
that. It goes up to $97 for the next price point, and then I
Okay.
think it goes to $500, around a little more than $500 for the next. If you were just doing a day pass and not a hotel guest, but the $500-ish ones, that gives you a day pass into the hotel, so you could go do the floating massage and go do some of those extra things through
Oh.
the retreat hotel. If that makes sense. So the
Yeah.
retreat hotel is what is on property of Blue Lagoon. You get private access to the Blue Lagoon. So it's only for like guests. It's only like this section for the Blue Lagoon. And then there's open to the public Blue Lagoon over here.
Wow.
And so if you want to do that day pass, you're over here. So there's more people, of course, there. But how can you do it bougie, just private, staying at the retreat? How can you do it more budget and still see this amazing
Totally.
site and take in just what everyone over here is seeing? It's just going to be a little bit more crowded.
Totally.
Which, that's fine.
That
you
was the
know?
perfect explanation. Wow, I literally couldn't even say it any better myself.
Yes. Okay. I'm so glad.
Thank
I'm
you
so
so
visual,
much.
so I'm like,
Thank God. Thank God. I have like the
Yes.
vision of it. I'm like, it was great, but you have the details. Thank
Yes. Yes.
you. It was crazy. Okay, so get into like what we experienced then, because I know you did
The
this
7
too.
rituals.
The
So
7-step ritual.
That's one of my top favorite things from
Okay.
our journey.
That was your top 3
our
too?
Iceland too. Yes, is the 7-step. experience at the retreat.
The ritual.
The ritual.
Because it
They
truly
call it the
is.
ritual.
It's like divided into 7 steps, and I'll jump in with the baseline,
Yes.
you jump in with the science. It sounds
Okay.
like, okay. Essentially you go into a cave, and it's like the lighting is just so
It's so
like
dark.
ambient. It's so
So
dark.
mysterious.
It smells so good everywhere.
The
Just
Blue
like,
Lagoon.
oh, ooh la la.
The sulfur, the magnesium. Am I sleepy? Am I like on a natural high? Am I so
Oh
like
my
wrapped in
gosh.
luxury?
You are
of
in a
spa?
robe. You are. Everything is about to
Yes.
happen for you. Okay, so they give you basically 3 different versions of clay masks that you're basically gonna like wash. They make you sit.
There's
in
showers everywhere around. So you're in a
Yes.
dark
Dark
cave. Like
cave.
literally imagine like a molten lava dark cave. It's part of the hotel, but it's like it's not huge, but there's imagine showers over here, showers over there.
The
They're
rain
open.
showers.
You have to be in a
Everyone
bathing
has
suit.
bathing
Yeah,
suits
you have to
on
be in a bathing
too.
suit. Like everyone's running around nudist, woohoo.
And it's
No.
a lot of like couples or like friend groups, and kids were there. There's a couple kids. It's not
There's
too
a couple.
like,
I saw like 2.
yeah.
The
they're
whole
like
weekend we were there.
very mature. They're very like silent and like they know
They're
what they're
kind
there for.
European kids.
Yes.
Well behaved.
So it's very like, and so there's groups of people at this because it's like the hotel offering. Okay, so you're
Yes.
there, and there's like you see what's happening ahead of you, and it's kind of like a thing where there's like step 1, step 2, but it's there's no signs.
There's like a bar too, not a bar for
Yes.
alcohol. It's a bar where like a couple of people are working. They're like folding like little
Yes.
towels. Everything's quiet, and you can just hear showers.
the
too.
spa tenders.
And the spa tenders.
Yeah.
Oh, what a dream job. And
They're just like
are-
dumping
they
in
help you.
mud into the thing.
They're
and
like,
just
oh, the clay like bowls over there.
Yes.
Let me get it rejuvenated for you and primp it up. Like, oh, you need like, and then you like people the first day, like we go there and we're like, hi, what do we do? We're here at the Blue Lagoon at the Retreat 7 Ritual Spa. Like, what do we do? Everyone just knows what they're doing. Why does everyone know what they're doing?
And you can go
Like,
multiple times a day too, but they don't recommend it if you're staying at the hotel.
You asked me. That was like Ellie's first question when me and my husband came back from the Blue Lagoon.
Well, because I'm all about
from the
you
treat.
get your money's worth. If you were staying here and doing this,
If I'm
like
spending over $1,000 a night for a place, I'm gonna take in every like free like mini bar thing, every candy bar.
Oh,
Not that we're
absolutely.
eating candy bars. I'm gonna drink my drinks. I don't eat chips. If there's cookies, I'm taking.
and you
that.
are gonna
If there's
dry
spa
out
stuff,
your skin. You were gonna do this
I'm
3
gonna
times
do
a
that.
day.
Lather on all the mud like I'm a heaping pile of mud.
Oh my
and
God.
Give me that chapstick, slap it on me at the end, baby.
And then they do not recommend it, but like, of course,
Of
we're
course
gonna do
get
it.
money's worth. I think get that
So,
silky skin.
You do it. It's like you do a clay mask on your face. You do it everywhere on your body. So they're
Yes.
like, okay, put it all over you.
They
like
want you
head
to. It's
to
not us
toe.
just being crazy.
No,
Like,
seriously, yeah. It wasn't
yeah.
just us. Yeah, dads were doing it. Everyone was doing it. They were
Yes.
doing it. So like the first one is there's like a white clay one you're gonna
I think
do.
it's an exfoliation one first.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you want to get rid of all the dead skin cells off your whole body.
Okay.
In the beginning, and it like energizes your skin too. Anytime you're doing a skin like a scrub of any sort like that, it's gonna energize your skin, get rid of slough off all the dead skin, and prepare yourself for what's to come next. That being enveloped in hydration and the anti-aging
Speaking
and the
of
algae.
hydration, yes.
So first
Wow.
up, I'm pretty sure is scrub. You go in there like, what do I do? That's what the spa tenders are there for. I don't know if that's what it's called, but
It
that's
should
what
be
we're
a
gonna
spa
call them.
tender. Yeah.
And so you go there like, no, go over here. You're in this section. And then you go like scrub, you put the scrub on.
And then you're letting it sit for, I don't know if you, maybe you let it sit for like 2 minutes, and then you go to the rain shower, like and it's head to
Yes.
toe, like it's a whole like
And it's dark in
wall.
there too.
Everything is
so
dark.
It's nice.
And
Yeah.
then you're doing that, and then you go to the
go
next
back.
step, which is clay mask number. This is the first clay mask, maybe. So this is a,
Yes.
a white one or green one. There's different
I
colors.
can't remember if
love.
it's the algae anti-aging one first. That's
Okay.
green. Or is it the white one that's hydration? I can't remember, but it's one of those two you do first, and then you do the other one next. And so you sit there, and then you go sit on like this rock
10
cave
minutes.
wall.
Oh, yeah, that's
10
right.
minutes, you're just relaxing.
Basking.
Oh, this is great.
There's also like fruit infused water they're giving you, and very things.
I don't know if I had that. I
No.
was just thinking there should have been wine, but like, no, it's very health focused.
No, they're very health focused there. They're like, listen, girl,
You don't need
hydrate, not
this.
dehydrate.
Right. And yes. And so you go and sit in the like rock cave walls for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Then you go shower it off, and then, check in with your person. Hey, do I have white all over my face? Do I still have green algae, which kind of smells like algae, like all over my body? Oh, yep. You missed a spot in the back. Go shower again.
I had a
And-
white bathing suit on because it was on my wedding anniversary,
Oh, how did that go
which
for
was
you?
funny because
With
it
all
was
the clay.
It was just
like
so
clay.
much. I was like an old
you.
bride at that point. I'm like, I'm just wearing because I bought it for my wedding, and I'm like, I'll reuse it every year for my wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
that's probably
you
it
should.
died there. I would say it's basically it's just like full of
So
like.
is that a
green
good
and black.
tip not to wear a white bathing suit to the retreat?
As
like,
long as you're down to
ritual?
let it like end there.
You're gonna have a bunch of clay mats all on your beautiful white bougie bride
Yeah.
bathing suit. So maybe like
As long as you're
save
okay
that
with
for
it.
like your honeymoon private lagoon pool. If
Totally.
you're staying at the retreat.
Totally, honestly.
Don't do it at the retreat when you're getting all the scrubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is a really good tip.
I got a blue one to go with the aesthetic. I did
So
look at
cute.
Instagram, like tag story or tag pictures,
pictures.
from the retreat to be
Smart.
like, what does everyone wear there? Like, what looks good up against the water and the rocks? It didn't matter, but it mattered to me. So I
Another
picked blue.
pro tip is they don't let you bring a phone into the Blue Lagoon. So
Correct.
you work with them, say no, we want the pic.
Yeah.
They'll take a picture for you though if you just ask. Just be like, hey, don't feel like, oh no, we
They
don't
have
our
people
phone.
that are hired to work in
Yeah.
the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they catch you with your phone, it's a bad deal. I saw someone get yelled at for that.
Oh, really?
I did, and they like took their phone from them and put it in the locker.
Oh no.
That's what they said that they were gonna do.
What if they kicked you out or something? I'm too much
gosh,
of
I
a
would
rule
never
follower.
want
I
to.
just couldn't. Oh my
I'm
God.
not a rule follower, but like okay, can I tell you like a magical moment there?
Oh my
Speaking of
gosh.
rule following,
Yeah.
I really wanted to bring my phone in for this moment, and if I go back, I'm going to like bring it for this minute, but I'm not going in all the way.
Okay.
So there is where you enter if you're staying at the hotel, which when we did stay at the retreat hotel. So we're in there and you like go through, they're like, oh, the sauna's here. The 3 quiet rooms, which I could take a nap for a year, are
yes.
here.
There's a
Here's a fireplace
fireplace.
room.
Ugh.
Here is like the amazing locker. And then here's the ritual spa part that's like included in the hotel price. And so you go
through the sauna tour and you're like walking around. Did you want a
yes.
picture of the floating massage
Okay.
situation? I feel like you would.
No,
So
that's
crazy.
too much. No, so okay, everyone here has seen Titanic. I know you haven't. If you haven't, what planet are you living on?
What?
Okay, so you know, like when Rose has to go down in the water to go save Jack, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" Like the water's going up, and it's
Yeah.
so high up, and he's like imprisoned with the handcuffs down there in the basement of the boat. Okay, this is.
I know
big.
exactly what you're talking about.
I know
too.
everyone does, and like I said, if you don't, like, why not?
Oh my
Like,
gosh! But in Iceland at the hotel, the room that's
so when you're going into the Blue Lagoon, so all of a sudden there's this staircase the staircases go into the water. It goes in, you're inside a building, and then you take like 5 steps to go in to the Blue Lagoon water.
because the
right
building
there.
is truly built around the Blue Lagoon.
Yes.
So they just built.
So there is the sulfur covering all the stairs. So it looks like frost almost on the staircases. So it
Yeah.
seems like it's like freezing. It's not. It's just milky, beautiful water. So it's the magnesium sulfur. And like everything is just like working together. So it looks white. You could take it and scrape it with your hands, which I did.
Of course you
And
did.
I want to pick it, and you can like rub it and like whatever. So, but you're going in and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm having like a Rose Dawson. Is that her
That's
same
so
moment?
funny.
Going into the water, you're holding the handrail. I was like, okay, like I'm going
Yeah.
in, and there's a door too. It just doesn't open up to
It's
a
a tiny
big
little
outside.
door.
It's a tiny door, so you go down the steps, and then
It's
there's
like
a
a
door. You have
doggy
to
door.
push it open, or like, and then like pull it open, and then the water like rushes in, and you go out to like then you're outside in the Blue Lagoon.
I have nothing else to say. You guys literally, I can't believe you even just went there. That is the Blue Lagoon experience, like in a nutshell. Like,
Okay. I'm so glad I could like bring that to people who maybe don't have the
Yeah.
opportunity or a chance to go right now or this year or next year. Maybe you want to go there, but you're like, this is a lot. Like, I really want to book the trip to the Caribbean. And I'm like, I can't afford to do this right now. Like, maybe in a couple months or like whatever, like this is a goal, but like, you know, maybe then the next year, you know? And so this could be your bucket list thing. Like,
Totally.
I want to afford to go there one night, and that's enough. And that is great. I'd love to live here.
I would love
But
to live here.
I
at
can.
this
We can
hotel.
also give you
Yeah.
that experience through here, and you know, go on our Instagram, look at our pictures of that too. If like you're like, this can't happen now, but it'd be a good dream. Manifest that, baby. You know.
Absolutely. Breathe it into existence. And Sarah, I was just going to say too, so like spending the one day there is so cool. If you do a night there, awesome.
Yes.
You did the Airbnb. I know we're jumping around, but I just want to make
Oh,
sure
yes.
we cover it before we wrap up. The
So-
Airbnb that you guys stayed at, which I didn't even know about Airbnbs in Iceland, but of course.
Yes. It was amazing. Like when I said I cried, like, which is so rare for me. It seemed like a hard one. But so we we're like, wow, the Blue Lagoon to stay at the retreat is a ton of money. We wanted to be there like 5 days. I'm like, that's way too much for 5 days. And also they were booked the first 3 days. I think we were there, 2 days we were there. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, like no problem. Like, let me look at Airbnbs. We found one. Like I said, it was cheaper than staying in a hotel in Chicago, would way rather stay in Iceland and have this experience. And so we just found an Airbnb, and it was maybe 20 minutes outside of the capital, 40 minutes from Blue Lagoon. And we went there, and it was just so beautiful as the sun never set. We watched Ace Ventura, which is so weird.
Which one? One or two?
The Pet Detective one.
Oh, what? Great. Okay, they're
so
both
like
great. I love
we
Ace
were
Ventura.
there, we were settled, we already had dinner, we were already like staring outside, like looking at everything. It felt so private. I want to feel secluded and private when I'm on a trip. I don't want to see people, like I said. Like there was oh my gosh, it was just so beautiful, you guys. Like there was a bathtub, like a big all around like hot tub bathtub, like it's a big square. It was always hot, it was always on. I'm like, is this water okay? How does that work? I don't know, but didn't matter. Like by the time I had a glass of wine, and they had these giant open windows, so you open the window in front of this hot tub indoor like bathtub situation. Ooh. So you have the doors open, so there's steam from like the bathtub hot tub, and then outside it's just like cool, that first day of October.
Oh my god.
And so we just like had the windows open at that the whole time. I probably like soaked up in there for hours, and then we're like, okay, we've done it all, and I'm like, I think it's like midnight or like 1 a.m. like we should go to bed, but I can't. This is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
You know? And it was day one. We were only there in the hotel, the Airbnb half a day. So it was amazing, and I like didn't want to leave. Like you know, after
you were already impressed.
I said, "How could it be even better than this? How can it be even better than the Airbnb?" So like, no shame in that game of just staying in an Airbnb and then doing the public pass of the Blue Lagoon.
That's how it's done. I mean, because they know what they have and they know what they're doing. So every place, the glass cabin also had like a cool hot tub thing. So they know. Really? They're like, we will have you soaking and looking good and feeling good.
It might be chilly here year round and all that, but we are going to give you that hot tub.
Can we go? I want to go. I can't talk about it.
That's how you know it's a good trip, is that we can't stop talking about it. And if you guys have any questions about Iceland too, like we want you to reach out and message us too. Like I don't feel like we're experts yet, because I'd like to go 3 times before I could say I'm like an expert and like have obsessively planned this to my nth degree. But I feel like we have tried, and we both have 2 different experiences. I would love to do the horseback riding,
the black sand beaches. You guys, these are so metal and cool too. There's like going back to that real quick. Yes. There's a bar at the black sand beach, like a restaurant bar, breakfast
and there's
bar.
bars in the Blue Lagoon too. How do they know? Like, these people, they want their bars in the black sands and the Blue Lagoon.
At the black sand beach, where you pick up black sand, literally. Yes. Like they have a death metal bar band, like where they're playing like metal music. Really? Literally, it was so cool.
That seems so not on par with Iceland. It's very like relaxing and tranquil.
Treacherous weather when we were there too. It was like windy and crazy, but it was so extreme and awesome and metal. Also, the other thing I was going to say is on the road trip, we did a waterfall. So we did a 360 waterfall where we could go on the other side of it. We could talk about Iceland for literally 3 hours.
I know. Something that I wanted to do, and I know you didn't get to do that. I didn't get to do it. This is more of a wintertime activity too. So fret not if you're going there in the wintertime, is the ice caves. So ice caves, it looks like Sedona, but with ice and black molten lava. Like, you know, just in formation. It like looks like a circle of like the rocks and the ice and everything, and you're going through that. Go on a group. Don't try to go off on your own.
Don't do it.
Iceland is affordable with like tour groups, and it really helps also the people that are there and working and everything too. They're so tourism friendly. I'd say like Costa Rica's like that. Turks and Caicos. Dubrovnik is. Dubrovnik and Croatia, they definitely are. Like, there are some places, I was in Barcelona, I'm like, you do not care about the tourism, which I actually heard that they were like,
oh yeah,
what were they
just doing? No new friends.
They don't want new friends in Barcelona.
Iceland's all about new friends.
But yes, they do. Like, so go with a guide when you're doing that. But that is a great winter activity. You could do snowmobiling there on volcanoes. And you can go check out the ice caves. So that is something I'd love to go back, see the Northern Lights, and do the ice caves too. So don't just listen to us with the summertime. That's a fun winter activity.
That's a whole different segment I didn't even think of ending on. What would we still want to do in Iceland? What's still on our list to do there?
Yes.
There's a big like vodka scene there too. Not that like you were already drink vodka.
The water. Like, well, the Icelandic water. That's what I brought home for Dad as a present. Our dad loves Icelandic water bottles.
Grocery store water. It's great. It's great. And we got them like, we both got them little, like the little vodka things. I think they're known for it there too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hydration, vodka.
All my favorite things were your favorite things. So one thing I wanted to add was the floating massage.
Okay, let's end on the floating massage. Lay it down
on that, but like,
no, we should.
Okay, so the floating massage, it's something that is offered through the retreat hotel. I'd be curious if you wanted to do that day pass and you weren't staying on property, like let's say you're doing an Airbnb or staying at a hotel, you want more of like a social scene, you stay in the capital for sure, and then you could do your day pass at Blue Lagoon. I wonder if in that $500-ish for the day pass where you get access to Blue Lagoon,
Is
like
it $500 for the day pass, or is it like
for the retreat? I said it could be. It starts
okay.
at $57
to do the
and
day
that gets you
pass.
in. You get a facial mask with that. You get robes and slipper and a drink for the $57, and then I think it goes to $97, and you get like 2 drinks and 2 mud masks and entrance to the Blue Lagoon open to the public. And then if you did like $500-ish, you have access to the hotel too, where it's more private. Okay. And so that is where you like have access. Like we stayed at the hotel those days, so that's why we did the floating water massage, which Allie and Josh did. They told us
literally it's so crazy though. It is, you are born a different person when you come out of this floating massage. Let me give you the straight and skinny. So you're like blindfolded and someone is carrying you, a professional masseuse in
floating
in the hot springs in the Blue Lagoon, and they're just like toss like
you feel like if you're like, is this gonna be so weird? Like someone's like holding me in water in a bathing suit. No,
they're
like,
professionals
so professional.
At it. You are so
it's not expensive either.
No.
There's different time frames, like times you could do it an hour and a half, which seems crazy. Like an hour, 20 minutes, like you could do all of that.
You're reborn a different person.
They
like,
put a wet warm towel on you too.
Oh yeah,
so that's why like it made me feel better. Like
weighted,
I was
like a weighted blanket kind of.
It was like a weighted blanket. It was like a warm weighted blanket because the Blue Lagoon's warm. Remember that? Yeah. So you're in there. You're in a bathing suit. They immediately put like you put so much conditioner in your hair so that doesn't get messed up.
And even if it does get like a little, like your hair gets a little whatever, it washes off in like 2 washes. It wasn't that big of a deal.
I was like really
people
nervous,
get really afraid. Honestly, like I'm just used to using so much dry shampoo anyways in my hair. I'm like, it's fine. It's like if you have dry shampoo for like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's just a little hay hair for like 2 washes.
Hay hair. That's hay hair. Sometimes it's kind of like.
But then it washes out. Honestly, it doesn't damage your hair permanently.
So then they put this like the towel all over you, and they like are massaging you underwater, and it is. I've only had like 3 out-of-body experiences like this in my life. It was like a natural high. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, except after that I'm like, yeah, reborn. Let's have a 4th baby. Like let's do anything we thought we could conquer the world.
Mack was born.
That floating massage, it really got me. But like,
it's like you're seeing colors or something. It's very just like, because it's such a weird experience when you're floating.
It's all your senses.
It's all your senses.
And
that
it's
are like
water and warmth and cold, but the air is like a brisk cold day, but it's like warm, but it's like, it's just amazing. And after that, like we went back, like Iceland is made for, like I said, like robes, and we played a lot of indoor games. Like the hotel came with like tic-tac-toe, backgammon, which like I maybe should make this be a Christmas present to like Reza, but like I suck at backgammon. Like
have I played? Is it a fancy game? How do you play?
I don't know if our brains can go there. You're better at math and numbers and sequences, so maybe you'd be better. But like I tried so hard. I'm like, can we just do like tic-tac-toe again? Like, but the room, and I'd say if you weren't staying there, like stay at a cabin and bring some like games like that, tic-tac-toe, Connect 4, some like indoor little games like that are good and travel friendly too, because you want to just be in a robe after the floating massage. I just wanted to put on a robe, like put some nice oil on my face, and like play indoor games and just stay up and talk, and
I love
have some wine. So it's just it could be romantic. Like I said, we want to go there with our mom and my oldest guy,
and adventure, like backpacking,
That's
hiking.
why my son, the oldest one, is the only one allowed to come, because he's my adventurous one. Like, and we went to New Mexico on that trip, so maybe we could talk about our New Mexico trip too.
I'd love to talk about New Mexico.
Yes.
And all of the trips.
Yes.
Just go everywhere together, Sarah.
I know. We want to know where you guys want to go, and we can know about. Is this romantic?
This is romantic.
Where'd she go?
With Sara and Ali O. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. If you want any links, even if you don't want the links, I think we're going to drop them anyways, just because sometimes people are shy. So like we're going to drop the places we stayed, the things we talked about.
Yes, please.
And let's keep the chat going. And please let us know if you guys went, what you liked, what you loved, and other show ideas you guys want to talk about. Destinations.
Yes. Someone mentioned some questions about Greece, so we can tap into that. It's been a minute since I've been there, but we will come up with some of the questions and answers.
Perhaps
you guys had for that.
A grab bag episode.
Ooh, okay. I think a grab bag could be fun. Like a little bit of like our questions about like Greece, Barcelona, like Italy, and Missouri and Virginia Beach. Yeah.
All right, Sarah.
Great.
It's been great. I was on a podcast for, but there's none. So
no, there's
on the note of hydration in Iceland. Bye, guys.
Meet you in Iceland.
Meet you there. Bye-bye.